Breaking today, Netflix has finally had enough. After getting their pound of flesh from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, including this mortifying public display of affection in the final trailer for With Love Meghan, the holiday special, which, by the way, does the dirty on Prince Harry. Have you ever seen his hairline looking so terrible? But that aside,
it feels like we've hit one of those classic turning point moments in the Harry and Meghan saga. The kind where everyone suddenly steps back, blinks a few times, and goes, oh, so this is where the Hollywood honeymoon officially ends. The way this Netflix situation has unfolded, you can practically hear the door clicking shut behind them. And honestly, it was only a matter of time. Let's start with the big headline energy of this whole thing. Netflix has finally had enough.
It's all over. It is all over, regardless of the first look deal. We're going to get reaction from royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, in just one moment. But first, here is the reporting from Shooter Scoop and Rob Shooter on this. He writes, Netflix axes Meghan. Netflix is slipping a Christmas bow on Meghan Markle's glossy lifestyle series, but insiders whisper to Shooter Scoop that the festive wrapping is really hiding a goodbye note. Behind the soft-focused lighting and gingerbread season marketing, the streamer has already decided the upcoming Christmas special will be the final installment of With Love Meghan. One executive literally called it the farewell disguised as a holiday treat, a top Hollywood insider tells Shooter Scoop. Everyone is smiling on the outside, but inside they know this is the end. The quiet cancellation comes as Netflix prepares to sunset the Sussexes' once massive mega deal, the multi-million-dollar contract that helped launch their Hollywood era. With that deal expiring in September 2025, and Netflix has zero intention of renewing, the couple will shift into far smaller, far weaker first look arrangements. It's not just a downgrade, a senior streamer source insists. It's the end of the automatic green light era. Meghan may still have projects bubbling, documentaries, book adaptations, concept pitches, but With Love Meghan has already been treated like yesterday's tinsel. Inside Netflix, they're calling the Christmas special the closing credits. Another insider says, season 3, don't even dream about it. So Tash, this is quite disastrous news.
It is for them.
I mean, good news for us, I guess.
It's not unexpected, is it? I mean, it was a flop. It was a flop. It was boring. It was awful. I watched the trailer, and it's the exact same boring recipe. You know, it's a lot of Meghan. She's got a couple of friends briefly featuring, but a lot of it is just awkward laughter and Meghan crafting with people, complete strangers. I mean, nothing says Christmas festivities like a room full of strange people. I mean, even she went out Christmas tree shopping. Obviously, it's just for the show, but without the children. Again, it doesn't really make you feel warm and fuzzy and Christmassy. With Meghan, just I don't know. The show was just a complete and utter disaster from start to finish. I'm glad to see the end of it, in all honesty, but I can't imagine that Meghan is going to be bringing much festive cheer to the table.
And what about the kiss, Tash? I mean, a lot of views on this. The Royal Grift posted the blood royal can no longer hold back, looking disgusted and repulsed. Meghan's mole wrote, tell me you don't love your husband without telling me you don't love him. And I just thought they did the dirty on him here. Like, you know how sensitive he is about his hairline, and it has never looked so appalling.
He does look rough there. He does absolutely look rough. I thought that he looked like he'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. Obviously, Meghan has allowed him to wear not a grey polo neck. He's now been upgraded to her colour sort of style brown shirt, but he looks more interested in what he was eating. Meghan has put her arm around him to pull him in for that kiss to make sure that he doesn't back out of it. She doesn't look that impressed to be kissing him, to be fair. If you look at her jaw muscles, she looks like she's flinching as she kisses him. It's all performative. It's all for the cameras. No wonder Harry's probably a little bit stiff. I mean, he was just trying to just eat his bowl of cereal, and they thought that's a good thing to add in there. Let's film the man why he's eating, probably got a case of the munchies. And Meghan's like, oh, I'll make this about me. Harry, show the world you love me. And he's just like, I just want to eat my food.
And Netflix gets what they wanted, which is Harry in their trailer, for
Exactly.
the Christmas special.
Try and give it a boost.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's the tone everywhere. Fed up executives, exhausted PR teams, and a streaming platform that looks like it's trying to quietly shuffle the Sussexes off the stage without causing a scene. It's almost funny. The couple who once arrived in Hollywood like they were about to single-handedly reinvent digital storytelling have now essentially become the same type of content liability Netflix usually tries to avoid: unpredictable, expensive, and no longer worth the PR migraines.
We know, though, Tash, what Meghan actually intends to do, and I've certainly been reporting on this for a long time, is exploit the children. That is absolutely phase 2 of this plan. And immediately following the Netflix act scene, Shooter Scoop goes into detail in terms of what that's going to look like. And he reveals that she is plotting, and my God, I cringe at this, but you just know it's inevitable, a mommy empire. Let me take you through the reporting, Tash. Meghan Markle is preparing a major pivot into the booming world of parenting and lifestyle branding. Elaine insiders believe she could dominate immediately. Sources familiar with the chatter tell Shooter Scoop that Meghan's recent holiday special, curated family content, and crafty, homey social moments are breadcrumbs pointing towards a modern motherhood empire. One entertainment insider tells Shooter Scoop that Meghan has been quietly exploring ideas ranging from children's lifestyle items to family-friendly programming to a digital creative hub. Her appearances featuring Archie and Lilibet, shielded but symbolically present, have only intensified speculation. She's leaning into warm, seasonal, mom-centered energy, another source tells Shooter Scoop. It feels like a soft launch of a bigger branding play. Executives watching the trend tell Shooter Scoop they sense a hybrid coming, part lifestyle platform, part parenting guide, part high-end wellness experience. Others believe she's evolving her long-term creative strategy to include family-focused storytelling. But isn't the fundamental problem here, Tash, that she can plan all of this as much as she wants? She can keep trying to exploit the children as much as she wants. But no one buys into the idea of mommy Meghan because we know that she doesn't really give a damn about those children day to day, as the recent Harper's Bazaar interview just proved, where she's talking about the big boast that she can, drag poor Lily into her office and sit her on her knee briefly during a business meeting. I mean, that's not the type of mum that you aspire to be, is it?
And then there's a trailer for With Love, Meghan, which somehow manages to be both overly polished and painfully awkward. It's like the Sussex version of a Hallmark special, except without the self-awareness or the charm. The most brutal part? Even in a trailer that's supposed to be all about her, Meghan somehow manages to make Harry look, well, rough. The hairline, the odd lighting choices, the way he's positioned like a prop in the background. You almost want to reach into the screen and hand him a better contract. The poor guy looks like someone took the least flattering freeze frame and said, "Yep, that'll do."
That's a case of quickly get her in for a quick photo call and then chuck them back to the nannies.
Yeah.
The insiders saying that Meghan will dominate that arena. Please, the only thing that Meghan will dominate is her staff and her husband, who is just a shell of his former self. They leave their children all the time in situations that they don't need to. They've got nannies that when they go away, they could take the children with them. The children could be put to bed in the hotel with the nannies. And then Harry and Meghan get to kiss them goodnight. Just normal parenting. Sometimes parents have to go away for businesses. And sometimes, they are in a situation where they take the children with them. They take the nanny with them if they're lucky enough to afford a nanny. Or you take a friend or a family member with you. So the children are still with you all the time and you can dip in and dip out around work. This is how normal people have to deal with having a job and having children. You find ways to make it work. They ditch them week after week. Meghan has no problems. I think Archie was a baby. She left him for like 2 weeks. They leave them all the time. And it's clearly obvious that Meghan doesn't know who's looking after her children, because I remember on Drew Barrymore, she said that I like to record, books rather than just FaceTime her children. I like to do recordings. And then who's ever with the children? Oh, when they're with Harry, she doesn't know who's with the kids half the time. She's completely disassociated to those children. So I don't think anybody's going to be looking for parenting tips from those two. And let's not forget, seeing as we're on the festive trend at the moment, she kind of was happy about the fact that Archie didn't believe in Santa at the age of 4. I mean, she is, yes, no, I can't imagine many people will look to parenting tips any more than what they will looking for tips on how to host friends and family over the festive season.
I know, but Tash, it's unfortunately what they have to do now, which is pretend to be experts in areas that they know nothing about in order to get the moolah. And sort of a little bit missing this week, although I have talked about it a couple of times, is this horrendous announcement in regards to Harry speaking to a Canadian housing association on the 1st of December. It's another pay-to-play deal. And his friends in the United Kingdom are looking at this and just thinking, oh man, what are you doing? Richard Eden's reported on it in the Daily Mail. Let me just take you through this, Tash. Ouch, ahead of Harry's bizarre lecture to estate agents, school friends, very cutting comment to me about Prince as royal sources spill the moment that says it all. So let me take you through this. His fear of public speaking hasn't stopped him accepting an invitation to give a keynote speech at Powerhouse, a conference for 450 estate agents in Toronto, Canada next month. The organisers say of the conference, this is your chance to hear from influential leaders, political pundits, and powerful insiders on all things real estate policy, housing supply, and the Canadian economy. Members of the Ontario Real Estate Association will have to cough up £163 for the privilege, while non-members will have to pay an even steeper £272. It's not clear how much of this revenue will go on settling Harry's appearance fee. News of the Duke's appearance, which I reported yesterday in the Daily Mail, has amused his old schoolmates at Eton College, where he was not known for his incisive contributions. I'm not sure how much I would pay to hear Harry hold forth on housing supply in Canada, laughed one old Etonian when he learned of the Duke's speech. Delegates at the Canadian conference have been advised that King Charles's younger son will bring a powerful message of service and leadership to the Powerhouse stage. The description led one royal source to tell me rather pointedly, Harry and Meghan gave up their message of service and leadership when they left Britain and their royal duties behind. Presumably, they will now give speeches to whoever pays them. As he addresses a room full of real estate agents, Harry could well ponder over the very different audiences he might be standing in front of had he and Meghan chosen to remain as working royals. After all, his brother William gave a powerful speech about the environment to dozens of world leaders, including the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, at the COP30 Climate Change Summit in Brazil earlier this month. And Tash, I genuinely do believe that this new booking marks a low, and it shows you how desperate they're becoming financially. Because you remember when Harry first went on these public speaking websites, the sort of understanding was, yes, it's going to be pay to play, but he's going to do the sort of events where you could argue it's sort of part of his philanthropy and part of his brand. I'm sorry, Tash, that's simply not the case anymore. He will speak to anyone who is desperate enough to pay him. Because the fact that, and look, I'm not doing down estate agents, but come on, 350 Canadian estate agents, this is mortifying. This is utterly embarrassing and mortifying, but he needs the money. So he is now a pay-to-play prince, a prince for sale, and we saw where that led Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Which raises the inevitable question, what do they do next? Because their options are shrinking, whether they realize it or not. They've burned through goodwill. They've alienated old fans. They've alienated half the UK and a good chunk of the US. Even media outlets that once framed them as inspirational figures now treat them like a cautionary tale. The Netflix decision isn't just about one contract ending. It's about the industry signaling. The Sussex era of hype is over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like that they are scraping the bottom of the barrel. Harry's taken absolutely anything. We've seen Harry talk to Bankers, I mean, that was one of the big ones when they first went when they left the royal family. Harry went into a room full of banking investors. They've done business investment speeches. Harry knows anything to do with banking or business investments, and now real estate. Canada's in one hell of a housing crisis. I've got friends that live out there. I mean, it's pretty dire straits unless you have a lot of money out there. How and who on earth is going to listen to Harry talk about that? This is one of the most privileged men in the entire world that grew up with palaces and castles. He's never had to have a job. When he did leave the royal family, he had millions in the bank account. And I think it's clearly obvious that Meghan has, worked her way through a fair old chunk of that. Hence why he's taking these speaking gigs. But who on earth is going to want to listen to Prince Harry? All he does when he does these speeches is talks about mental health. He might bring up his mother. He brings up my wife. He doesn't have the education. No wonder his old Etonian chums were taking the mickey out of him. This was a man that got a teacher to cheat on his art exam. He left Eton with 2 A levels, Dan, just 2. And for Eton, that's incredibly low. I'd imagine practically unheard of. And one of them, as I said, he got the teacher to help him cheat. This man doesn't have an education to talk about anything like this, an understanding of it. Why on earth would anybody want him there? Apart from it's to get estate agents to perhaps pay the money to go see it. But £163 a ticket. I mean, yeah, it's just embarrassing. What's he going to be speaking at next? Like a hairdressing conference? I mean, ah,
Well, let's be honest.
toupee.
There's not much work they can do with that at the moment.
A toupee one.
Yeah, but we see the desperation though seeping into a whole load of their moves, because also this week in Meghan's Thanksgiving announcement for Was Never, we noted that she put Archie and Lily right there. So in order to sell Sage honey, Tash, she's now telling stories about her children.
Yeah, they're going to love sitting at that table, children at that age. Yeah, be really exciting for them.
It just shows you, doesn't it, though, quite what a downfall 5 years in we are looking at.
Of course. And this is exactly why they claimed the Prince and Princess titles after all of the hoo-ha they caused on Oprah saying that Archie wasn't going to be given a title at all, which we know was a lie to make it more dramatic, and they were victims and racism was involved. And they just needed to wait until Charles became king. But the fact is that they did even say that they didn't want their children to have titles. It's something that their mouthpiece, Omid Scobie, reiterated, saying, no, they don't want to do that. They want their children to have a normal upbringing. And then at the first grab that they could, they were like, no, we want our children to be prince and princesses. This is a couple that preach about I suppose like some of it is equality and equity in workplaces, and then they want their children to have this element of prestige, which raises them on a different level above all the other kids in school, because they're a prince and a princess in a country that fought a war to abolish their links to the monarchy. It's obvious that Meghan has chosen the children to be prince and princess for this very reason, and it all comes down to marketability. She needs to cash in on those children because she and Harry are no longer making the money. So I do believe, Shutter Scoop, that she is going to do something like that. And I don't think Harry's got the balls to stop her. So yeah, it's just they lurch from one disaster to the next. And everybody said that she would wait till the children are that little bit older, which they are now. We saw them at Disneyland, didn't we? Or Disney World. They got a freebie for Lily's birthday. It's all about now trying to present the children to the world to earn money off of them. And it's, again, parenting tips. That's Mother of the Year right there. It's the same as them giving speeches about not wanting children on social media, as she posts her children on social media weekly.
And the holiday special trailer, with its awkward PDA and unfortunate Harry close-ups, almost symbolizes that perfectly. It feels like a relic of a brand that doesn't realize its time has passed. So yes, Netflix got their pound of flesh. But Harry and Meghan, they're the ones left with the bill. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next.